Welcome back to Gator Country TV. I'm Laura McKeeman here with Mr. Recruiting Justin Wells. Justin, did you survive homecoming?
I did. Have you finally thawed out, regained feeling in all extremities from that cold one on Saturday?
It was a very cold game, but you know, some recruits were out there, and there was also some commits out there. And let's talk about, first of all, the commitments that Florida already has that came to the homecoming game.
Well, Laura, definitely right now, a lot of commitments are showing up, showing a lot of support for this Gator team. You have Trey Burton, who's been at seemingly every game since the beginning of his junior year, the last 2 years. He was there along with Ian Silverman, who's in the same boat.
They're always there.
They're there every week. And then John Dowling, the defensive back / wide receiver out of Brady in the Southeast. But a couple of new guys joined him this week. The Booker T. Washington duo of Lyndon Trail, defensive end, and Quentin Dunbar, very talented wide receiver. They made their first trip up since the South Carolina game from last year, and they seem to have a really good time up in Gainesville.
And that was their first time as Gators. Now another guy was there, Jordan Hayden, got to see a very impressive performance by his older brother Joe Hayden. Talk about Jordan a little bit.
Well, Laura, Jordan Hayden is out for the year right now with an ankle injury that he suffered early in the season, but very talented player, very physically gifted. I think he has an opportunity for the Gators to see some action on special teams as a freshman.
Okay, and the guys that were there that weren't already committed to Florida, some of them were in the class of 2010. Talk about those guys first, then we'll get to 2011.
Well, one of the big ones, Laura, is Chris Dunkley, wide receiver out of Pahokee. As you know, there's been a lot of talk about the troubles of the Florida Gator wide receiving core this year. They definitely had their issues at times, but Chris Dunkley is that type of electric playmaker that'll be able to be a home run threat for the Gator offense. And certainly, with all the debate and talk about the performance of the wide receivers this year, he has an opportunity to step in as a true freshman and make an impact.
And it was a good game for him to see, right? See some holes where he could fit in.
Absolutely, especially at Deontay Thompson touchdown pass. I'm sure he could see himself on the end of that type of play.
And what was another guy that was there from the class of 2010?
Well, Keyshawn Hamilton is a 6'8", 270-pound tight end / offensive line prospect we're keeping a close eye on. This guy's absolutely huge, very athletic, never even really played football until this year, more of a basketball player, but he's got that NFL type of frame. And if the numbers allow it toward the end of the class, toward National Signing Day, I really think Keyshawn Hamilton has a good shot to be in this class for Florida. Okay,
let's look towards the future a little bit, to the class of 2011. Who came out to the Arkansas game that represented that class?
Well, two names we're really keeping an eye on, Laura. Right now, defensive tackle Timmy Jernigan out of Lake City, Columbia, a dominating player, 6'2", 270 pounds. This guy's an absolute force on the interior of the defensive line. And then Mike Bellamy, running back out of Punta Gorda, Charlotte, 5'10", 170 pounds, one of the top sprinters in the state of Florida, and a very productive running back as well. Charlotte had a chance to go up against Venice last week in a really big Southwest Florida matchup, and Bellamy was doing the Gator Chomp all night long while going up against Trey Burton.
And talk a little bit about just how important it was for those fans to see, you know, these recruits, and then in turn for the recruits to see the fans and how much support that gives.
Well, that's right, Laura. Definitely a game like this, where a very close, very exciting game. The fans were into it all day long. They were very loud, cheering very loudly for this team. And it was just a great atmosphere to be a part of. I'm sure the recruits can see themselves being a part of that atmosphere at the University of Florida.
Okay, well, let's lock this thing up.
Okay.
Woo! And coming up next is the Gator Country Roundtable, so be sure to stay tuned.
This summer, Titletown Textbooks is bringing back the Can Is Your Coupon promotion for UF and Santa Fe students. Bring in one canned food item and receive $7 off any purchase of $70 or more. We'll match each can and donate the items to the Bread of the Mighty Food Bank. Our central location makes getting here easy, and our massive parking lot is right outside our front door.
Titletown Textbooks on the corner of University Avenue and 34th Street in the Westgate Plaza by Grandy's Powerhouse Gym, Play It Again Sports, and the Latin Cafe.
Huntington Learning Center presents Homework, a parent survival guide. Does your child fail to bring homework home? Huntington Learning Center offers these suggestions to help your child succeed. Set clear expectations. Your child should bring homework home even if it's finished, so you can go over it together. Use a homework planner to copy assignments and work with a classroom teacher. Enforce mandatory homework time at home. For more information on this topic or how Huntington Learning Center can help your child succeed in school, call today.